I saw you all the way over there.
I just follow everybody else.
Wow. Okay. So
Let's put these back where.
yeah, you can put that back. You can put that back. Yeah, this is perfect.
I can't.
Bye.
Okay, bye for now. Good job.
The most successful reefs that the Billion Oyster Project has are out in the Bronx River and Jamaica Bay. Both of those reefs should be reaching maturity in the next year or two,
Okay.
as far as I've heard. Another successful reef is out in under the GW Bridge. But most of the oysters that are planted end up not making it because the vast majority of the reefs are just wherever the Billion Oyster Project can put them legally and logistically.
But this is all the part of a Billion Oyster project?
Yep.
Oh. So at different places that they are doing it.
Yeah, they have 15 different reefs, I think
15 different
5 different nurseries.
Okay.
And they also have something called the Oyster Research Station program where they just have hundreds of very small cages just scattered throughout the harbor.
Yeah.
Mostly Manhattan, Brooklyn, and they're kind of expanding into Queens, but again, it's really wherever there's a community group who can adopt them.
So where I will get to see them actually like research happening?
So the reason
Jamaica?
So the research isn't really happening, as far as I know. They're waiting until the reefs have reached maturity, which
Okay.
is...
Now just it is harvesting that they are doing at different places.
So harvesting, they're not harvesting. Once they're planted, they're planted.
Okay.
But they're being we actually have some of the logistics right here on Governor's Island. We have what we love to call the shell pile. Which
What
is
we call?
the shell pile.
Shell pile.
Yes.
Okay.
It is-
Piling of the shells.
Yes.
That's what they are doing at every site.
Yep. Right here on Governor's Island, we actually are partnered up with, I think, 65 different restaurants where they donate their used shelf to us.
Okay.
And then we use that shell in the restoration process. Oysters love growing on top of other oysters. So in order to jumpstart the reef, we end up growing our oyster spat on top of half shell that we get from restaurants.
So what we do more using these shells? Only using it as reefs?
Yep. We use those shells as reefs. We end up getting a lot of shells. So if there's some organizations that want those shells for like an art installation, we can.
Like even the pharmaceutical industries, they like to have. So do we give them, because the medicine base which is there, that is with the help of this calcium carbonate also they use many of the times.
I haven't heard of that.
Powder they make of it, and then
I haven't heard of that.
and even in the
that'd be
talcum powders and all.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, but
Most-
here it's not being done in that manner. There
Not-
no
not that
industry
I've heard
takes.
of.
Okay.
All of the shell that we end up using, or I say all of it, the vast majority of it that we end up using ends up going into the reef.
Okay. So as it is, we put it in the reef. As it is, the shells we put it in the reef.
Well, not as is. First, we end up seeding little baby oysters on them. Then they end up getting put in reefs.
Where you said?
So out in Oyster Bay, I think it's called the Wild Oyster Project. They're trying to rejuvenate their own.
In
oysters
Long
there.
Island?
In Long Island, yeah.
Can you share the address also? Because
Yeah.
I stay in Long Island. I would like to.
Yeah, I think it's in Oyster Bay,
Oyster.
which is I think on the north end, but I haven't been out there.
Okay.
And the Olympia Oyster Project is out in the Bay Area out west. They have a lot of. They're trying to get their own oyster project going, and the Billion Oyster Project.
But here, who is heading this oyster project? Whom I can meet?
Those two, I'm not sure. I think I have met the head of the Wild Oyster Project, but it was only in passing. I was working out at the Shell Pile and he came to visit.
No, I'm talking about the Billion Oyster.
Oh, the Billion Oyster Project. That'd be Pete Manowski. Although he's the head of the Billion Oyster Project, head of outreach. There's a handful of other people that you can talk to. Head like here we find. I can give you their contact.
Yeah, because
back up throughout the rest of their time here.
so it's like unlearn, relearn.
Yeah. So a lot of times.
Learn, unlearn, relearn,
Yeah,
how we
so-
say. So when they come, you have to first throw away their bad habits and then
Yeah.
get into the new.
Probably
Okay.
the best, one of my favorite lessons that we actually teach the sophomores is the scientific method stick,
Okay.
where we give them a stick, a PVC stick, 2 strings attached, with 4 strings coming out of it. And we tell them,
throughout the next few weeks, we will be using the scientific method to figure out how to use this. And really telling them, don't make any assumptions. Any observations that you make, you have to write it down. You have to be as methodic as possible, even if you want to make assumptions, even if you already have ideas, ignore those for now. And only pay attention to the bare minimums, and then slowly creep up to the level of coming up with a hypothesis. Like, and we teach them, and they end up coming up with multiple hypotheses that they end up disproving as we give them more tools to learn how this stick works. And until eventually they come out with a better understanding of the scientific method, because we really forced them to drag themselves along it.
What is the method that you apply while, like now I was seeing that the rope was given, how to do the sampling before that, how you will prepare your rope for the sampling?
So that is also, even then, that is teaching them to be really methodical. Mauricio spent 2 periods telling them how to, teaching them how to coil up line and teaching them how to prepare their lines that way in the future it's well prepared and won't uncoil itself in transit. And even though it seems like something that's really basic, the way that we teach them prepares them to be really slow and methodical with their work in the future, because that is what science is about. You can't rush science, and if you do, you're going to do it incorrectly. Just like how if you rush coiling a line, you're going to do it.
I was seeing that even the credit base, like this is the 10th grade students, those who were there here right now. This is a school as such, high school.
Yeah.
But then it is having a good bridging with the college system, where they are going to earn the credits and it will be transferred, and they will be getting edge over the others for the admissions. So how is that process made easy by incorporating this course in the high school?
So this course is a lot of the other courses. They do prepare their students for a lot of other careers, which is absolutely fantastic. But Mauricio Gonzalez really focuses on preparing his students for a college level curriculum. This school is really fantastic. It does a lot of great things. Preparing students for college is not exactly one of those things.
I saw the research inputs, the way now you people are going to design and make them do the project management and all this. This is great thing because that is the best thing.
And it's exactly what ended up getting me into Stony Brook University. I was a project manager for 2 years here, and because of the experience that I gained through my projects, that got me into Stony Brook, even with my very so grades that I had.
So what do you feel that because see nowadays in every course in India also, that we do a lot of project based learning, and project management is part of it. But the projects are just copy paste mostly. In most of the places it happens in that manner. But here I see that in a very stepwise manner, that they are groomed for making their own project. Stepwise manner. So just tell me those steps as you take them through the journey of this project management.
So in terms of by the end of the year, we allow them to do their own little research project, looking into a whole bunch of secondary sources, not secondary sources, but research articles, both from previous students and just abroad, to kind of gather their own information, do their own analysis, and come up with their own little mini project. Then after that, in junior year, where they are let loose upon the many recirculating aquaculture systems that we have in the lab, and they end up gaining a whole bunch of experience getting water quality information and recording that information throughout the entire year, and using that information and information that they generate throughout the year, they can then make their own research project with their own data, with their own information.
And ideas also they only built on their own, and then they execute their own ideas. That it's not that we are telling them that what project they have to do. They take up their own interest.
As long as it's within the boundaries of their system, they're told to let loose. But then after that, in 12th grade, in their senior year, they have access to a larger project within groups. Right now, that project involves a whole bunch of e-concrete tiles, which is a type of concrete that's more ecologically friendly and more available for organisms to grow on.
What is that e-concrete? What is the material is used in e-concrete?
As far as I know, it's a patented material made by the company. It's the standard Portland cement with a specific mix to it that makes it that fixes the pH of it to make it far more inviting and less.
Because I'm hearing this e-concrete is being done on many of the beach sides also, like small pools
Yep.
are being made
Yeah.
for I don't know how it will support the ecosystem. I don't know.
So
but
it supports the ecosystem by being not as harmful. Concrete, if memory serves, I think it has a high pH. It's either
but,
very,
but what is the material? That's what I just wanted to know. What is that e-concrete made of?
it's
What is that material?
concrete with a mix of secret material that's patented.
They don't say. What is that secret
As far
material?
as I know, they don't say. I've heard some people that do know it, but I'm
Not aware. Okay. Anyways, but then in this project management also and the project study also, I have seen a lot of skill is being given to the students.
yes. We give them a lot of freedom.
Lot of skill.
We give them a lot of freedom to really figure out what they want to do. Again, as long as it's in the confines of what we're already doing with that e-concrete, they can do biodiversity studies, they can do phys-chem studies, they can do abundance studies, they can do durability studies, they can do a whole bunch of other stuff with the data that we have. We give them a playground and we say, go out there, and if they
But
are
Nicholas, more important is about the collaborations which has been done with many universities, and they are given exposure to those universities also.
Yep.
So at the school level only they have got an exposure to the colleges, universities.
Yeah.
Because the number of I saw the number of collaborations of Harbour School with the different universities and the colleges,
Yeah,
and even Department of Environment Protection and others.
Mauricio has a lot of really great connections that he takes advantage of for the students. With a handful of universities, we were talking about Professor Johanjerovitz. He's one of he works with Mauricio, and he actually sponsors and I'm not entirely sure if this is the right wording of it, but a college single college lesson of oceanography that Mauricio has with the seniors and some of the juniors sometimes. And it's a 3-credit class that they can take in high school, and that's 3 credits that they won't have to that they don't have to pay a few arms and legs.
Because I see that these are the things which are very important. Like suppose the way things are also put up here,
Yeah.
this ambience, the way things are around us, that also many a times inspires students to know more about. That's what I see here after coming, because the way these I see a lot of tools kept here. As many tools they can be given exposure to, and they have a selection of like what they want to pick up. Like here you show the tanks, how the tanks have to be managed, and how the quality of water can be done. So these are, I think, a very good kind of an I must say that exactly what student want to be in,
Yeah.
that is all available here.
Yeah, it can certainly be a bit. As a sophomore in this program, I was almost overwhelmed by it. There was so many tanks, so many sounds, so many strange smells, I should say, going on, that I had a lot of ideas of what I wanted to do, and I first had to get acquainted with the lab itself. Which is, in itself is almost a maze that you have to learn how to exist within a lab space, which is something that we teach the 10th graders.
So you were the student here, Nicholas, and now you are a teacher here.
Yes.
So what is the way that you are engaged here as a teacher?
Yeah. So I work as a lab tech and a research manager. So a lot of times, whenever the 11th graders are working within the lab, I am making sure that things are going smoothly. I'm double checking their work. I'm triple checking their work. I'm making sure that any ideas that they have aren't too ludicrous. Like there are some ideas that some people out in the turtle tank have. They want to get a stingray, and I'm like, want a stingray, and I'm like, well, how are you going to take care of a stingray? And then they have to do the research of like what.
Yeah.
what water quality that stingray needs to live in, and what environment that stingray needs to live in, and how clean the water needs to be, and if the system that they have can handle that influx of water. And
Are we telling them also the importance of aeration?
Oh, yeah.
Whether the atmospheric aeration is required
Yep.
or the natural air which is automatically getting generated,
there's a handful.
that is
So
important.
because we have rotating aquaculture systems, we actually don't actually have that much of a problem with aeration. They're constantly circulating. They're constantly have little waves and bubbles in them. That's constantly keeping the water moving and therefore aerated. But there are a few systems that aren't quite so aerated. You'll actually see over in the systems right over there. There's a tiny little baby turtle living in there, and
Where is it?
right
In the-
over there in the
Okay,
XR
yeah,
system.
yeah.
There's a little baby turtle in there, and there's another cage that has a few axolotls in there. And both the turtle and the axolotls, they need more oxygenated water.
So I will just take it around and capture this, because instead of sitting we can have this.
And because of that,
So here all
here,
fish.
right in here,
Yeah,
this is the you can actually see, where is he swimming?
Here. Yeah, I can see.
Yep, there he
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Right down there. So this bubbler is normally plugged in, but right now
Okay.
there's a whole bunch of work being done on this level, so it's not quite plugged in, along with a handful of other things. And then we also have our axolotls, which are just chilling right here. Their tank should probably be cleaned up, but that's something to tell them today when they come in.
So children they do it themselves?
Yep. All of this is being
What
taken
is your-
care of.
this?
So in here we have some young chilids, I believe. We had some small issues this summer where we had to figure out that the adults end up going after each other after they
Here
have
what
kids.
are we doing? Here
So
what is
these
it?
are all juvenile tilapia.
No, here.
Oh, so that is the sump. That's where all the water from the system gets drained out and then dumped into for it to be filtered out and recycled. And yes, the kids are taking care of these chickens. End up getting neutralized, and then once they're safe to dump, we end up dumping them down the sink.
Okay. So all chemicals in one and then you neutralize it.
Yep.
It's that way. Okay.
So
Very
it's
good.
back when I was here, we did a whole bunch of sampling out on the boat in the Harl River.
Here is what is the lab here?
So over
Because
here,
last time I saw this.
yeah.
Yeah. What is this about?
So this is one of the older projects that are.
No, here also I see a lot of oyster shells.
This is the greenhouse. We have two more systems.
Okay.
This is what we love to call the turtle tank, where we have all of our turtles. This is the tank where the students want to keep a stingray in.
Okay, so students will start experiment, then you will have stingray and all here.
Yep. So they want to keep a stingray in here. So right now they're making sure that this is a very old tank.
Okay.
They're making sure that it can still handle that water quality without leaking as such.
Okay.
And once they make sure of that, they'll fill it up and prep it for the stingray. And then the students are given a budget, which they will use to get a stingray somehow. How they're going to do that is up to them.
Here some Mississippi map turtle.
Yeah, so we have some Mississippi math turtles. We have a whole bunch of red-eared sliders. Last year, they finally built these guys a little basking platform.
Okay.
Although they're not in the best quality, we're making sure that they're going to start doing a lot better for themselves.
So right now what is there in these?
So in here, there are a handful of little catfish, and there are a handful of crabs. Although I
Crabs?
believe that during the summer,
I don't see any crab.
during the summer, there might have been a small die-off. in
Yeah,
here.
I can see their chilla. That is the
Yeah.
part of the body part I can see there.
And
So
down,
no turtle now.
nope. And then down here in this last level, they're prepared. Just got cleaned out. There was a whole bunch of
Okay.
dirt and oyster shells in here,
Okay.
and at this point, they're just cleaning it out. to
So
prepare for
here we don't do any kind of oyster breeding or anything.
That would be in the oyster tank. We just got We had a whole bunch of older oysters that haven't made it through a handful of die-offs that we ended up having. But now that we have a whole bunch of new oysters, hopefully we can really start treating them a lot better and doing a lot better for them.
What is in this?
And here, this is the finfish tank. Where we
Okay.
have a whole bunch of breeding age tilapia and a whole bunch of other critters.
Oh.
Yeah, we have some. We used to have a pacu, but unfortunately that passed this summer. Something went
So
wrong.
these are cultured here only. I mean, they have from beginning only they are here, or
Yep.
we have brought it of this size.
They were brought here, I believe, of the size of those young ones down there, and these guys have been alive for probably at least a decade now.
Oh,
Yeah, we've got, I think, 1 or 2 females left.
the small ones are also the young ones.
Yep, those are all little young ones.
Fingerlings.
So those are so we already saw a lot of baby tilapia in the XR system. These are all the tilapia that we couldn't take out of here. There
Okay.
used to be a whole lot more, but unfortunately, hungry tilapia are going to do what hungry tilapia do.
Yeah.
So we couldn't grab all of them, but enough of
Okay.
them have survived.
Okay.
So thank you very much. If I missed anyone, please let me know. Thank you for doing that. Also, yesterday during SEALS, our after-school program, there were many of you who were present. If you did not get to, and you know what that's called? The steel wool. You know what I'm talking about? The steel wool. Okay, so if you find a rusty object, then make sure you scrape it off with the oil. And if you have nothing to do, I don't think it's gonna stay in there. It doesn't so don't do that. This is already getting loose. Who unloosened this? Lucy, you ready me?
Today working with the 11th grade students here, and they are being taught how to maintain these aquariums, how to monitor the water quality, how to clean it, how to maintain it with food temperature and everything. So this is how your 11th grade students are taught marine biology.
It's really hard to take off because of all the grime that's built up on it. But if you're neat about it, take this off carefully. There it is. Where's the gasket? This should be the gasket. I don't see it. Unless it's like taped on.
What is that you are doing?
I'm in aquaculture, but I'm bringing leaves over to the compost to create rich soil.
So you are going to carry this for composting.
What?
This you are going to carry for composting.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, this is my. Also, I'm being interviewed right now. So
Okay. It's okay.
as you can see, we need a
Yeah.
lot of leaves for the compost. Are you
Yeah.
a part of MAPA? I mean.
No, I am a Fulbright scholar here.
Oh, really? Okay. I would.
So learn from y'all. I'm here to learn from y'all.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, yes,
That's pretty cool.
yes.
No, we need like 3 wheelbarrows. Okay, let's have a head on.
Why?
So,
Fins.
So what is all of them doing there? What's your name? You didn't tell me your name.
Oh, my name is Horatio.
What is it?
Horatio.
Horatio.
Nice to meet you.
Same here. It's not heavy. How are you going to do it alone?
It is
This.
heavy.
It
But
is heavy.
I'm not actually a part of this group. I'm a part of aquaculture.
Okay.
So you should ask Layla.
Here. Okay.
She knows a lot.
Okay. So what are you doing here?
There's not a dead body in there. With this, we have this
Yeah.
is one of our compost machines.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of waste from the garden, the old plants,
Okay.
and we combine them with leaves and wood chips, and then in a couple months or maybe a year, we'll have compost.
So where you take this compost ultimately? To these gardens only. Okay. Okay. So all are doing the same thing today. What is this all?
We're all doing slightly different versions.
Okay.
Basically
So
the same
what is happening here?
That's a different compost system.
Okay.
It's a 3-2-1, so we have 3 parts wood chips, 2 parts, I think, greens, and 1 part's browns, but I think the greens and browns might be mixed up there.
Okay.
So they're just setting that up to start composting in there.
Uh-huh.
And then some people are weeding in their garden. That way we can grow crops for the
Okay.
fall and the spring. And I think some people are doing another compost system over there.
Okay. But they are just bringing those dried leaves and bringing it here.
So that, because we need them to create the compost.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're doing labor. I have to go over there and scoop up wood chips that were heavy.
So what are you doing?
Collecting vegetables, like rotten vegetables.
Yeah. So it is the first stage?
Huh?
At the first stage of composting? So what are you going to mix with it?
I'm not too sure yet.
Okay.
Hey, is that good?
Wow.
Perfect, beautiful. Next cast.
That's pretty much empty.
Start growing mulch.
लौकी कद्दू सब कंपोस्टिंग करके यहाँ पर डाला है और इन्होंने ग्रो किया है सब. So what you do in this while cleaning? What you do?
Sorry?
What you do
Oh,
during the practical? Yeah.
right now I'm just vacuuming the tank. It's getting a lot of
So you are going to clean the waste inside there.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is every week you do twice.
Sorry?
Every week twice you do this.
Just whenever it needs to clean, but we usually clean that clarifier about twice a week.
Okay.
That's what we really need to clean off.
What are you doing?
We're trying to install this light.
You are trying to? This one. What do you do with this?
We're gonna put it down here, like this one.
Okay. So like
We're
that.
just gonna put the same thing right here.
Okay. Okay.
That, and then is bucket of water. You can also try physically covering it while you bring it down. Yep. Well, don't try to catch stuff. That's not gonna work. Just try to set something up.
It's like vacuum cleaning? Or how is it pulling it?
We're trying to vacuum clean it, but we're having some technical difficulties. was around the counter and they saw me too badly when I was.
And then you tighten it from here. So remember what I said, hand tighten. It was a little hard to watch. I'm going to go really slow. That's it. All right? And then
What are you doing here?
So we're cleaning the net that goes over our tank. So our
Okay.
tank is the finfish tank. So we have like tilapia and other large.
I have seen that. Yeah.
So this is just the net that goes on top.
Okay, on
Keep
top.
it-
So that you are cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just
Oh.
wiping it off.
Yeah. So up to what time you are going to remove water?
What?
Up to what time you are going to take off water?
Just this last time, it's 6.
Okay.
It's just enough to fill it so that we can keep this. Okay. Oh, there. Okay, right, 61 orange. Make sure your notebook's going in the water. No, your notebook is in the water. It was in the water.
drag everything right here. And it looks unprofessional. Touch everything.
You can come this side. You can keep it here. It's plain here.
Don't leave anything in the front. Got me? Alright. Stuff like this. Don't leave this here. This should go in your box. You can do that after. Okay, that's why I'm asking you to write this down. Amy, write it down in your notebook. Things to do. To do.
Just leave it there for now. Is that good? Just use tally marks. In terms of snails, we got 2 there already.
So we have 2 snails.
From this bag. They're not going back in the bag, so it doesn't really matter. It's just tying because they weren't tally.
Emojis coming from your waist. Alright? Okay.
So, wait, how many wedges do you have?
6.
Then there's 8 now.
Okay, so
See what are these animals?
there's
7.
Can you see?
Yeah, we're counting these. These are sea squirts.
Yeah.
And then
So they are like a bifowlers.
6 more sea squirts.
You all have to take pictures also because you have to make a report. So who is doing on your behalf? So take some pictures.
So that's one colony, that's a colony, that's a colony, this is a colony.
Okay.
Then here also some, what is this white we can see, pinkish, that on the net?
Yeah, so those little,
Egg laid or what it is, something of that?
oh, so all those little bumps, that's all food. So you're, whatever's in here, you're probably overfeeding it if that's how much food you're giving them.
We had 5 rats, so we were feeding about
Show the colonies of Trinity.
1/3 of that amount.
And inside you turn, inside, what is all these colonies?
So those are more tunicates and some sea squirts.
Brenda had us feeding about 1/3 of that amount for a single shrimp. We just added that food in like just a couple minutes ago.
Okay, so that'll explain that. But keep an eye on that. See how long it takes to go away. If it doesn't, reduce how much you're feeding.
Yeah.
Especially because something that might be happening is.
Yeah, no, we are.
What did you try to check here instantly?
So what?
So,
Why not? This is making my life very difficult. Let me try something.
so this is kept for what? Like what they try to search instantly?
Huh?
This is kept for what? Like what they search for in between the...
Oh no, this is mostly just used for the printer.
Okay,
They have access to laptops
okay,
here.
okay, okay.
To feed your organisms?
We have money in the fridge and there's some growing on the side.
Okay, remember that your oysters also like detritus, like dissolved organic matter. Where are you getting it?
Like that.
What are you doing? A lot of it on
Get, like you can add a bunch of fish food to this, leave it for a few hours. Mix it. I put it back over there. Your oysters can filter.
Misha, you have it.
Approximately 10, 20,
Like 13.
13?
Yeah.
And were you able to identify what species?
We have 2, we don't know exactly the 2 species. We don't know what species they are. We have the round shot one and then the other.
Okay, so at one point soon you're going to want to identify your species, right? Just add a little bit of oil to it. You'll need to get on your knees. It's okay to get on your knees. Okay, this is the protein skimmer. Okay, you can take this out, remove it. Rinse it off.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. I'm just showing you. I'm not rinsing anything off. I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
Okay, you can remove that. You can move this whole thing.
Okay.
All right. So all this salt here, you're gonna want to get rid of it.
Okay.
Okay, all that salt.
Work on that today.
You can, with a paper towel, you can remove the salt from here.
Okay.
Okay, from on top of these things.
Yeah.
Can you pass me some paper towel, please?
For a brief meeting again, the book club is meeting today after school for the first time in room 317. Have a great
Pass
day.
me the whole thing.
We can use that.
You can. Okay, so little by little, once you're done up here, you're going to want to remove that salt, rinse out some of these things. You can also bring a bucket so that when you take things out, you put it in a bucket, right? And then, like this stuff here, okay, remove it with a sponge and fresh water, and then add a little bit of oil to these metal pieces.
So you have fixed the one? Both the tanks you have fixed?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay.
Those two over there.
So now you will put water or you will leave it like that?
We're gonna maybe put crawfish inside them at some point.
So how many brush you have made like this?
This is the first one.
This one first. And now what is going on?
We're just logging everything that we've done today and from past days.
Okay. So this is individually you have to make an entry? Or it's a team?
We're all making entries on one document.
Okay.
But we're spreading out the work.
Yeah, we're working on different sections or sides of
Like different days.
Yeah.
What you're entering?
I'm entering what we did on Tuesday,
Okay.
which was our oyster pickup day.
Okay. And you, what you're doing?
I'm entering the stuff we did today just now.
Right.
Okay.
I know Shannara, but do you know the other entry? Shannara.
Did you all see the method of presentations here put up anytime?
Yeah.
You all have seen?
They're not really fast. They're
The harbor school is a nice way of teaching the student by displaying the research papers by which students get to learn more. Although it's a school, harbor school, high school, but I see all the inputs are given as per what they can do to skill themselves with research. In very nice way that just now we saw how they are maintaining the tanks. They've been done everything of the tanks everywhere. I showed inside also the lab that each group has been distributed and they're maintaining lab. Each aquarium tank, how it has to be run, how it has to be managed, how the food has to be given, how aeration has to be done, cleaning, every aspect. And now we can see how students are ultimately, after completing their all the work, that they are now analyzing the things and making for ready for the reports.
Anybody leave behind a lab coat? No? Nobody did it?
Mildly wet lab coat.
So after the class, you are cleaning everything.
No, I'm cleaning up the mess.
Yeah. So what are you learning from this?
Taking care of a tank is stressful, but it's fun after.
Nice to see that wherever you are working, all the place you have cleaned also before going. Very nice.
Rory